Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. This is Professor Diaz, and today I wanted to talk about the PyCharm IDE. By now, you've probably seen the Visual Studio IDE video that was originated by Professor Solis. And if you're using Visual Studio with PyCharm with Python and it's nothing to it but to do it for you, and if it's working out, then you don't have to change IDEs. But I prefer to use PyCharm. I think that one's a better IDE, at least for our purposes. And if you wanted to learn how to download PyCharm and use it, then keep watching this video. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to Google. Me, of course. And you're going to see, I was already practicing, so it comes up. So you're going to download PyCharm. And you want to make sure to download the community version. Mine is already downloading, but you want to make sure to download the community version and not the professional version. The professional version, I think it costs money, so the free one is just fine for us. All right, so I had pressed pause because I was waiting for the file to download, and now I've resumed because it's done downloading. So I'm going to click on the bottom left corner of the screen, the PyCharm executable. So I click on it, and it should take me to a task wizard that will allow me to continue the steps to download the IDE. So right now it's just showing me that screen. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? And I'm going to say yes, and you're going to say yes too if you want this. Next, so I get the welcome to PyCharm Community Edition setup. I'm going to press next. I'm going to go through these. You're going to go through these. I've already done this. So mine says uninstall old versions, but I don't want to do that. So I'll let you go ahead and continue with the task wizard on your own. So I'm going to quit this, but you're not. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and open up PyCharm so you can see how that IDE works. So I'm going to close this out for now. All right. And here is the PyCharm shortcut on my desktop. I'm going to double click that. Just waiting for it to open up. I'll probably pause again here. All right, so now it's loading up, and the first thing you'll notice is the tip of the day. It always wants to promote an easy shortcut or something helpful to offer to the users. So right now mine is preparing itself. So I have like a little code here, but I'll show you how to make a new one. So you're going to go to File, New Project, and I'm going to call this one Python Demo 2 because I already have a 1. Okay, so from here I'm going to create, hit the Create button. And I want to open the project in this window. All right, so now I have a blank project, but I want to add files. So I'm going to go up to File. Okay, and now you should see something. This is a default piece of code. I'm going to get rid of it because I don't need it. All right. And when I want to add a file to this project, you just right-click on the folder that has the name of the project. You press New, and you want a new Python file. So there's an option for new file. Pick Python file down here. So I'm going to click on it. Sorry about the extra clicking sounds. I'm not the only person working in here right now. So I'm sorry if that's really distracting for you. New Python file. Okay, And I'm going to go ahead and name this file. Personally, I'm going to call it PyCharm demo 2. And you're going to notice that I'm using camel casing, or a naming convention that makes this more readable. I also have uppercased the leftmost letter in the word too, and that's just because that's how I do my file names. And I highly recommend that you have a consistent convention for naming your files, and making sure that that convention is readable and intuitive, so that if other people want to access what you're working on, if you're working in a team, then they are able to access whatever work they need to from you without too much ambiguity. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and press enter. All right, so now I have a blank screen, but we don't want to have a blank screen for too long. So I'm going to show you a little piece of code and how to use the debugger a little bit, but we'll get more into how to use the debugger like more in depth later. For now, you just need to know a couple of things. So I'm going to create a small piece of code. X equals 5, equals 10, print, and print hello world. Okay, so I have a very small piece of code, and you're going to notice that in the very top right, it says main still. But I don't want to run the main file. I want to run this file. So I'm going to right click on the file name in the tab that I want to run, and I'm going to select run. And in this case, it says run PyCharm demo 2. Okay, and then you'll see I have the print x plus y, so that's 15, and the string hello world. So it looks like it worked out fine. It finished with an exit code 0, which is highly desirable. Now I want to show you how to use the debugger just a little bit. So to create a breakpoint or an area in the code that you want to start debugging from, you click within this area here. So to the immediate right of these line numbers. So I want to start debugging here. Okay. And instead of hitting the play button, I'm going to hit the debug button. And you'll also see on the left, PyCharm demo 2. It's right next to the play button. That's the file that's going to run. So last time it was main, but this time it's PyCharm demo 2 because that's the latest thing that we ran. Okay, so let me press the debug button. All right. And it shows you what the values are of that line. So since it already ran line 1, x equals 5, I know it's very, very small, but it's x colon 5. And then the next line is y equals 10, and it's highlighted in blue. If I want to go to the next line, I click on this arrow here. It's like the step over right buttons. I click on it, and it moves the blue bar to the next line. So that means that we're on the next command. And you'll see that y is 10 shows up here as well, because that's the value of y at the time. That's one of the things I like most about this debugger, is that it will display the names of the values of the variables. And if I hover over this area, it tells me what this command will be. So I press step over again. And then finally I could press step over one more time. And it finished running my code. So The last thing I think I want to leave you with is that PyCharm automatically saves for you. So if you run into a situation where you forget to save, you don't need to worry too much because it's automatically going to save for you. I hope you're just as excited about that as I am. Okay, that's all I have to show for you today. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.